EA have released the Gladiator evolution. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this seems to be one that's going to be put to one of your cards that you're chaining. Reason being is, it gives them a +1 overall to max 90. They get +8 on shooting to max 92, +8 on defending to max 91. They get intercept and low driven as a playstyle. So, with that in mind, I've got the perfect example of sort of card you could be going for. Doesn't mean you have to, but you could be. For example, I have my Farius card here, right? It's got 7 playstyles, doesn't have intercept, and he doesn't have low driven. But he also doesn't have any playstyle pluses. So if I were to use this card, it makes him up to 88 rate instead of 87. As you can see there, it's going to maximize his shooting, as we know. And then it's also going to boost up his defending. Not like that's really important for a striker. But we do get ourselves low driven and intercept. Now, the type of player this would be really suited for if you are looking to chain is probably going to be a midfielder. Now, I know people are going to look at Zanetti straight away and go, wow, 92, well, 90, 92, 92, 91, 87. I think he is a fantastic choice. Having 11 playstyles, he is going to get low driven. As you can see here, it's going to be max reach, so he won't even get that. He'll only get intercept. Whereas if we go back and we look at him beforehand, he's got 10. So yeah, he should get low driven. Yeah, he'll get low driven, sorry, I'm being silly here. So he won't get intercept because he's got it as a plus, but he will get low driven. Now, Zanetti's a perfect example of someone you could use it for because it's a box-to-box midfielder. Very, very nice card. See, there's no stats wrong. His passing would be way higher as well if it wasn't for his free kick action curve. But this is just like a nice card to go for. You want to look for somebody like that. That's kind of the card you want to go for if you're not going to chain anyone. Another one on top of that would be Blanc as well. Of course, you can see here. So he gives himself 11 with low driven and intercept added with first touch and ping pass. And of course, he can play centre-back, cam, centre-mid. So Blanc is another really good example of a card it could go towards if you're looking. They're the type of players you're looking to do if you're not chaining. Somebody like Marlin, yes, is a great shout because it boosts up his shooting. Low driven is nice to have. Intercept, not so much for a ringer. But again, boost up the shooting is what we're looking at here. Or if you're going for a defense like Guendouzi, I know he's got intercept plus, but it makes him into a much more rounded CDM. Of course, he has intercept plus, and then he'll get himself the low driven shot. And again, 4-star, 4-star, very rounded card. So that is the type of card you're going for. In terms of best choices, I was looking at Dumfries. Like, I like this Dumfries and not, especially for one of the best right backs in the game. Low driven already has intercept, as you know, 9 play styles, 4-star, 3-star. But some of these cards would have already been put into evolutions, as you might have already done. So you would be looking at other ones like Forenzi's, another interesting one. Again, very rounded, 5-star, 5-star. Centre mid, left back, right mid, or right back even, so I can't read. And again, very good play styles for a box-to-box. So they're the ones you want to go for. In terms of best choice, I think Florenzi's up there. Gilmore's also a really nice one if you didn't Evo him already, giving him 9 playstyles. Bearing in mind that 12 is the absolute maximum they can have. Now, this is kind of EA's way of like balancing out the Become Immortal evolution that we've got. Now, other players you could add it to is Chaganoglu, but again, you would lose the grassroots chemistry, so just be careful with that. And he has intercept already. So what I would do with this is just look for a low-rated card that you're Evo chaining or thinking about Evoing, like my Farius that I've mentioned on the screen now. Or go for someone much, much lower, like a Zayn Emery, for example. Boost him up to those sort of stats. And then he hasn't got any playstyle pluses, and he can be easily Evo'd again. And another tip with this guy in particular, you could then go all the way back to evolutions, have a look what you have in your rewards and cosmetics, and for example, I could give that Zayn Emery as well if I really wanted to, because I haven't used it yet. I could give him the skill move boost, the 5-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot, and then I could also add him in to the finesse shot, the Trivela, power shot, chip shot, maximize all of those playstyles, get him to around 9, and then add the playstyle pluses on top. But if you haven't used the 5-star, 5-star yet, could be a nice little link way in. Or you could go for someone much lower rated in terms of this here, and then chain in that player as well. For example, Marlin's another one. You can see here, because the max rating for this evolution, the Tuares Miidolo, is going to be max 90. So you could put them in that evolution first, maximize their shooting and dribbling to make sure it doesn't go over them ratings underneath my camera, and then pop them into this afterwards. So using the example of Marlin, just an example, would then give him basically max more defending, more playstyles with the low driven, and of course the intercept. But then he does get the playstyle plus of finesse shot, which he didn't have before, and 5-star weak foot. So it is an option to do. But let me know if you're going to do this. I think this Evo is just kind of like a chain Evo more than anything, like I've said. But let me know if you haven't seen my Become Immortal step-by-step guide. I highly recommend doing that. because if anything now, you should have just this one left to maximize your player to 92 rated. With all of those stats you see on the screen is where you want to be, and I will catch you in the next video.